What is the role of an IT disaster recovery analyst in an organization?
An IT disaster recovery analyst is responsible for developing and implementing strategies to minimize the impact of potential disasters on IT systems and infrastructure.
Can you explain the key components of a disaster recovery plan?
A disaster recovery plan typically includes components such as risk assessment, business impact analysis, recovery strategies, communication plans, and testing and maintenance procedures.
How do you identify and assess potential risks and vulnerabilities in an IT infrastructure?
To identify and assess risks and vulnerabilities, an IT disaster recovery analyst conducts thorough assessments, performs risk analysis, reviews system configurations, and analyzes past incidents and potential threats.
Can you describe the process of developing and implementing a disaster recovery strategy?
Developing and implementing a disaster recovery strategy involves conducting a business impact analysis, defining recovery objectives, selecting appropriate recovery strategies, designing and implementing backup and recovery procedures, and regularly testing and updating the plan.
How do you prioritize systems and applications for recovery during a disaster?
Prioritization for recovery is typically based on criticality assessments, considering factors such as the impact on business operations, customer requirements, legal and regulatory obligations, and dependencies between systems and applications.
What steps do you take to ensure data integrity and backup in a disaster recovery scenario?
To ensure data integrity and backup, an IT disaster recovery analyst implements regular backup procedures, verifies the integrity of backup data, performs periodic restoration tests, and ensures off-site storage of backups.
Can you explain the concept of recovery point objective, RPO, and recovery time objective, RTO?
Recovery point objective, RPO, refers to the acceptable maximum amount of data loss in a disaster, while recovery time objective, RTO, defines the targeted time to recover systems and resume normal operations after a disaster.
How do you conduct disaster recovery testing and what methodologies or tools do you use?
Disaster recovery testing involves simulating potential disaster scenarios to validate the effectiveness of the recovery plan. We use methodologies like tabletop exercises and full-scale simulations, and tools like virtualization and automation to streamline the testing process.
Can you share an example of a successful disaster recovery implementation you were involved in?
In a previous role, we had a data center outage due to a power failure. Our disaster recovery plan kicked in, and we successfully switched to the backup site without any significant impact on operations. This experience showcased the effectiveness of our recovery strategies.
How do you handle communication and coordination during a disaster recovery event?
During a disaster recovery event, effective communication is crucial. We establish a designated communication channel to keep all stakeholders informed about the situation, progress, and next steps. Regular coordination meetings are conducted to align efforts and ensure a coordinated response.
Can you describe the process of documenting and updating disaster recovery plans?
We document disaster recovery plans by outlining the procedures, roles, and responsibilities of key personnel. Regular reviews and updates are conducted to incorporate changes in the IT infrastructure and address evolving threats. Documentation is stored securely and accessible to authorized personnel.
How do you ensure compliance with regulatory requirements in disaster recovery planning?
Compliance with regulatory requirements is ensured by aligning the disaster recovery plan with relevant industry standards and regulations. We conduct regular audits to assess compliance and make necessary adjustments to meet the requirements. Documentation and evidence of compliance are maintained for reference.
Can you explain the difference between a disaster recovery plan and a business continuity plan?
A disaster recovery plan focuses on restoring IT infrastructure, systems, and data after a disruption. It aims to minimize downtime and recover operations. On the other hand, a business continuity plan encompasses a broader scope, including strategies to ensure overall business continuity during and after a disaster, addressing not only IT but also other critical business functions.
How do you handle budget constraints when developing a disaster recovery strategy?
When facing budget constraints, we prioritize critical systems and data to ensure their timely recovery. We explore cost-effective solutions, such as cloud-based disaster recovery, that offer scalability and affordability. Close collaboration with stakeholders helps identify areas where investments are most needed.
Can you discuss your experience with cloud-based disaster recovery solutions?
I have extensive experience with cloud-based disaster recovery solutions. By leveraging cloud infrastructure and services, we can replicate and store critical data off-site, enabling rapid recovery in the event of a disaster. The scalability and flexibility of the cloud also provide cost advantages and simplified management.
What steps do you take to continuously improve and update disaster recovery plans?
To continuously improve and update disaster recovery plans, we regularly review and analyze the results of testing, incident response exercises, and real-world incidents. Feedback from stakeholders and lessons learned are incorporated into plan updates. We stay updated on industry best practices and emerging technologies to enhance our strategies.
Can you describe the process of performing risk assessments and business impact analyses?
Risk assessments and business impact analyses involve identifying potential threats, assessing their likelihood and impact, and determining the criticality of systems and processes. This information helps prioritize recovery efforts and develop effective disaster recovery strategies.
How do you handle vendor management and service level agreements in disaster recovery planning?
Vendor management involves selecting and managing third-party vendors for disaster recovery solutions, ensuring compliance with service-level agreements, and conducting periodic assessments to ensure their capabilities align with business requirements.
Can you discuss the importance of employee training and awareness in disaster recovery preparedness?
Employee training and awareness are crucial for disaster recovery preparedness. It ensures that employees understand their roles and responsibilities during a disaster, know how to respond, and are familiar with the organization's disaster recovery plans and procedures.
How do you handle communication with stakeholders and senior management during a disaster recovery event?
Effective communication with stakeholders and senior management is essential during a disaster recovery event. It involves providing timely updates on the situation, the progress of recovery efforts, and any potential impacts on the business, ensuring stakeholders are well informed and can make informed decisions.
Can you explain the role of incident response in the context of disaster recovery?
Incident response plays a crucial role in disaster recovery by promptly identifying and responding to incidents, mitigating their impact, and initiating recovery procedures. It involves coordinating resources, implementing containment measures, and restoring services to minimize downtime and data loss.
How do you ensure the security and confidentiality of data during a disaster recovery process?
Ensuring the security and confidentiality of data during a disaster recovery process involves implementing robust access controls, encryption mechanisms, and secure data transfer protocols. Regular audits and testing are conducted to identify vulnerabilities and ensure compliance with data protection regulations.
Can you discuss the challenges you have faced in implementing disaster recovery solutions?
Some of the challenges I have faced include ensuring compatibility and integration with existing systems, establishing clear recovery objectives, and securing adequate resources for implementation.
How do you handle the documentation and storage of critical recovery information?
I ensure that critical recovery information, such as backup schedules, procedures, and contact lists, is properly documented and stored in a secure and easily accessible location, following best practices for data protection and confidentiality.
Can you describe your experience with regulatory compliance audits related to disaster recovery planning?
I have experience with regulatory compliance audits and understand the importance of aligning disaster recovery plans with regulatory requirements. I ensure that our plans are regularly reviewed, updated, and tested to meet compliance standards.
Why is it worth subscribing to our YouTube channel?
Our YouTube channel provides valuable and informative content on a variety of topics, including expert interview questions and answers that can help viewers prepare for job interviews and improve their skills in various industries.